Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another time out here. Welcome to another time to the book club. Thanks. Great to have you all here. You have to, be in the process of life to win in life. If you're passive about life, you can't win because life is a game. Life is a war, right? You have to see yourself in the game. You have to see yourself as part of the screenplay, or you have to see yourself as part of a war. If you're not actively involved, you cannot win, right? You cannot have the best of life, and that's what the whole chapter is about. And last week we talked about the need to be involved in life. Today we're going to talk about the fact that we need to take responsibility for the life that we have been given, and we need to make it work. Those are the things that we're going to focus on, today. And pretty much the continuum of life is something that Stephen Covey espouses in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it just talks about the way we go through life, right? We all come into life very dependent, right? We're dependent, when we come through life, when we get conceived, when our mother's womb, we get born, we're very dependent, right? But at the moment we get born, we start gaining independence, detachment. Once that cord is cut for the baby from the mother, that baby begins to grow in independence, right? It's 100% dependent in the mother's womb while that cord is there. But once that cord has been cut, the baby begins to grow its independence to the extent to which, as a young adult, you are expected to be almost fully independent as a young adult, right? But that's not the end of life. Now, there is another place of life where, as an independent person, you can make what we call an interdependent decision. Knowing that you're a part of a community, a society, you release some of your independency so you can work together as a society, as a team, as a community in a marriage situation, right? Because anytime you're teaming up with someone else, you cannot have 100% independency. Otherwise, you will not be able to match with that person. It's like going for a work, right? When you go for a work, the two people cannot walk at their normal speed or normal pace. They come to a new pace, a new speed that is comfortable to their discussion, their engagement together. Both of them change, right? That's the thing about marriage also. I wrote a series on marriage will change you. I wrote a series on that years ago. And the fact that if you don't change in marriage, your marriage cannot work, right? You cannot go into marriage and be exactly the same person you were before that marriage in that marriage. You're going to have to make some adjustments to make the union work, right? Anyone that does not make adjustment is the immature one. Maturity demands making adjustment to be able to find a new harmony with this person that you have come into relationship with, right? To make that marriage work, right? So it's just the phase of life we all go through in life, right? And some people would rather have us, to be dependent all the days of our life so that they can oppress us. Because when you come to an independent status, it's a place where you could do that immaturely, where you begin to be a rebel to everybody, to every authority. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a mature status whereby you are independent, but you still respect the authorities and the systems that you are subjected to, right? Not because you have to, but because you decide to, right? You are independent. Yes, you can make your decisions, but you still make decisions in that wise, right? So some people don't like people being independent around them because they want to control them, right? Dictators, bosses would rather have someone that is dependent, someone that's a slave mindset, so they can control that person. But the real thing about human beings is that human beings are not made to be used. They are made to be worked with, right? And that also happens in some marriage setting where women are oppressed. It's like, oh, the man is the head, the man is the head, and that man goes there and just wants to oppress the woman, doesn't want the woman to be, oh, I am the head, even though you don't know some things, that's not headship, that's not leadership, that's not God's mind, right? True headship is one where the two of them, come together and play their role in that relationship and submit truly to one another. It's not the trait, it's not the dictator stance, the boss stance that we find around that has resulted into a lot of people killing their spouse because they're trying to put that person under, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. It's not the true stance. It's not God's mindset. It's not the progressive mindset. It's not the sustainable mindset, right? So we were all created to be like God, in God's image, right? And in God's image, we're created to be independent beings who can live their lives on their own, that can, as it were, fight their battles on their own. However, there is a higher place we get to when we team up with other people. But that teaming up is not something that is forced on us. It's something that we make the decision to and for, because not all teaming and coming together is necessarily productive. So you have to choose the one you want to team up with that is in line with your goal, your mission, your vision for your life, right? It's not something that you have to do, but it's something that you decide to do to go to the next level